Hello everyone, it's Becca from Becca Books and Bujo, and it is time for my September in and out. We are going to chat about all of the books I am unhauling and hauling for the month of September, and it should be a relatively short video because I was in a huge slump in September with my reading, which translated to a slump in buying books, which is a good thing. I did not acquire very many books this month, and I am getting rid of a couple. So let's just start with the two I am getting rid of. The first is kind of maybe a little bit touchy, but I'm getting rid of A Prayer for Owen Meany by John Irving. This is a modern classic, and I got 80 or 90 pages into it. I was trying to buddy read it with a group of ladies, and I was not enjoying my time whatsoever. It was adding to my slump in September, and so I decided it is not going to be for me. I thought I could possibly consume this content, this story, in the film if I want to, but also it wasn't really that intriguing of a story to me. So I am going to say goodbye to A Prayer for Owen Meany and hope that somebody else can enjoy it. The other that I'm getting rid of, I know is a lot of people's favorite romances, but it just did not work for me. This is Butcher and Blackbird by Brynne Weaver. This is a serial killer romance where two serial killers kill other serial killers and they fall in love. I really enjoyed our main characters of Sloane and Sloane and Rowan, but I couldn't get past the gross, yucky parts with the killing. The murders were too gross for me, and I found myself not wanting to read those parts at all. Just didn't work for me. So I am going to hope that someone else can enjoy this. I know that it works for a lot of people, and I'm bummed that it didn't work for me, but it just ultimately was too gross. So those two I am unhauling. Let's talk about the 4 books that I'm hauling. I didn't get these books until the 27th of the month, or maybe even the 28th. So I did so well in not buying books all month. And then there was a library book sale in my town, and I found just a few. So these I each got for, I think, $2 each, which is pretty dang good. I got The Erotic Stories for Punjabi Widows by Bali Kaur Jaswal. I should have looked how to say that name. But I believe that this is similar to The Bandit Queens, where a group of women don't like their husbands and they kill them. Am I getting this confused? Every woman has a secret life. Nikki, a modern daughter of Indian immigrants, has spent most of her 20-odd years distancing herself from the traditional Sikh community of her childhood, preferring a more independent life. When her father's death leaves the family financially strapped, Nikki impulsively takes a job teaching a creative writing course at the community centre in the beating heart of London's close-knit Punjabi community. The proper Sikh widows who showed up are expecting to learn English, not short story writing. When one of the widows finds a book of erotica and shares it with the class, Nikki realizes that beneath their white dupattas, her students have a wealth of fantasies and memories that they've held in for far too long. Eager to liberate these modest women, she teaches them how to express their untold stories, unleashing creativity of the most unexpected and exciting kind. As the class grows, a group called the Brothers, who have appointed themselves Southall's moral police, threaten to reveal the class's scandalous stories and the mysterious secrets lurking beneath this seemingly sedate, tight-knit community. So maybe I was confusing the plot of The Bandit Queens with this, but still kind of similar concept, where we have some women who are maybe more so suppressed because of their religious community. They come alive and share about what is real in their lives. I also got What Lies in the Woods by Kate Alice Marshall, a thriller. This is a book of the month version. And this is a relatively new release. Oh, January 2023. So a year and a half. But still, I've heard really good things about this one. They were 11 when they sent a killer to prison. They were heroes, but they were liars. Bum, bum, bum. I just love to add thrillers to my shelf. I turn to these in the fall. I turn to these when I need a quick read. So it's nice to have a lot to choose from. And then that same day, I got this huge chunk of a book, Homecoming by Kate Morton. I think that this is kind of a magical realism historical fiction, if I'm remembering correctly. The highly anticipated new novel from the New York Times bestselling author, a sweeping saga that begins with a shocking crime, the effects of which echo across continents and generations. Oh, so it's a little bit of mystery and history. I remember Megan from Meg with Books reading this. I think it was nominated maybe for the Goodreads mystery thriller category, and she was kind of dreading reading it, but actually enjoyed it. Maybe my memory is not correct in that, but I want to say she liked it. We'll see. I can go back and look at that. But I don't know. It just looked like a pretty new book, and I wanted it. Lastly, that day we went to a little thrift store in my town, and for $1, I got The Midnight Feast by Lucy Foley, her most recent release. I have had issues with Lucy Foley in the past. I'm not the biggest fan of The Hunting Party. That actually got me in a huge slump in 2021. I was okay with the guest list. It wasn't super amazing, but I did enjoy my time with The Paris Apartment. So I'm going to give this one a try. Her newest release, a deliciously twisty murder mystery set at a luxe coastal retreat where the beautiful setting hides the rot within. So I don't know. I've heard good things about this one so far. It was just released this summer, I believe. 2024 is all it says, so I don't know. But I'm glad I picked it up for $1. And like I said, with What Lies in the Woods, it's just nice to have some thrillers on my shelves that I can turn to when I need a fast-paced read. Now let's turn to the numbers really quickly. I did read quite a bit off of my shelves in the month of September, and with only purchasing 4, my number did go down by 1. First, let's look. I brought 4 books into my collection and 2 books out. Not much there. But if we look at the overall numbers, I have 227 physical books on my TBR. So that number actually went up, but my Kindle books went down by 2. I have 52 books, and my borrowed books stayed the same at 22. So that added up altogether is 301 books. And if we look at last month, I had 302. So we are moving down. Even though I bought more books than I unhauled, I read more of my physical TBR. Are all of these numbers making sense to you? I don't know. I like to have this for my own knowledge, but maybe the numbers aren't for you, and that's okay. You can just skip ahead through this part. So I am hoping that this number can reduce again in the month of October. I just haven't been loving reading as much or buying books as much, so that's a good thing for my physical collection. Luckily, I am not adding to it as much. It is causing my reading life to suffer a bit. I am not enjoying as much as I normally would, but I'm hoping I can get out of this rut and get back to the love of reading and the love of collecting books again. Let me know if you have read any of these 4 that I have added to my library this month and what you thought of them. It'd be great to have some bookish conversation with you down below with your thoughts on these 4 that I'm adding. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in another one very soon. Bye!